Here we are looking at the 4 boxes that the trailer in a bag, the single rail trailer in a bag, ships with. And this is what it'll look like when you receive it. Now we're going to take a look at each box opened and what it contains. The large box has the rear wheel assembly, crossbar, second box has frame components. The second box has frame components. The third box is the condor box, and the condor instructions will be on top. And the last box, the smallest box, has the trailer in a bag pieces as well as the documentation for the trailer. And here's what all the components look like laid out, including the optional condor chock for the single rail trailer in a bag motorcycle trailer. In just a few minutes, I've taken the individual components of the trailer and bag, the right and left axles, and the rear axle tailpiece, the center section, the front section, the tie-down crossbar, and the coupler, and I've just laid them out so that I can then assemble them with the locking pins. Here you see the pins that the trailer and the bag uses to secure the individual components together with the cotter keys. The small pins you see there are the ones that secure not only the tail light assemblies, but the front tie-down crossbar. Here you see the 4 mount bolts and nylock nuts for the condor chock. Here I have 2 ratchets with 1/2-inch sockets to tighten the fasteners, the mounting fasteners, which are 1/2-inch head bolts and nylock lock nuts. For the condor chock, the optional condor chock for the trailer in a bag, to the front mounting plate in the front section. And now I'm going to go ahead and bolt the condor chock to the front section mount plate. Here you see the condor chock mounted to the front section mount plate using the 4 bolts provided, the 4 holes. You can tell you've got the axles on the appropriate side because the warning labels will be to the rear and the tie-down lugs will be facing up. All right, now we're going to show you how the trailer in a bag goes together. It's really pretty simple. First, the front section mounts to the center section by sliding it onto the male pipe. The rear T-section mounts to the center section, again, same way, sliding it onto the male pipe. The axle assemblies mount to the rear T-section. They slide into the female sleeve, and the right one is the same. Lift it up, slide it in. Now that we have the trailer in a bag assembled, I've gone ahead and pinned all of the connections, and you'll note the axle to the rear T section, the pins are in from front to rear, and don't forget the cotter keys. Now we've added the The rear ramp section plugs into the rear tailpiece and is also cross-pinned. Here you see the cross pin for the center section to the rear T-section. And here you see the cross pin for the center section to the front section. Now these can be installed right or left, it doesn't make any difference. Always be sure to have the cotter key to lock the cross bolt. And we've added the coupler to the front section, and we've pinned it, and this is the larger pin. This is the biggest pin in the batch, and that goes the cross pin between the front section there and the coupler. Here you can see how we've mounted the front tie down crossbar using the 1/4-inch pins. Here you see the 2 1/4-inch pins which support the front tie down crossbar, and these also are secured with cotter keys. Put on the cross safety chains, and we're ready to load the bike. Here's my Gold Wing up on the trailer in the bag, and as you can see, it's being supported by the Condor chock, and just for safety's sake, I use the kickstand plate, but as you can see, the kickstand plate is not supporting the bike, the Condor chock is. Here you can see how the taillight loom runs up over the bike on this side. And here you can see the other side of the loom where it runs forward. I've tucked it up under the seat, coming out, meets the other for the taillight loom right here. I've taken a couple of tie wraps, wrapped it to the crash bar there, wrapped it to the crash bar there, come up over the foot peg, then I've taken and I've tie wrapped it to the front tie down bar, and then I've secured one more tie wrap right there on the coupler. Here you can see how I've come out from under the fairing to tie off the front end to the tie downs to the front tie down support bar. And in the rear, I've come off the rear crash bar behind the foot pegs and attached to the axle tie down loops. See how we look here. I don't think this motorcycle is going anywhere except where I want it to, on my trailer in a bag.